She used to be an actress.
She ever do anything I ever seen?
I think her biggest deal was she starred in a pilot.
What's a pilot?
Well, you know the shows on TV?
I don't watch TV.
Yes, but you are aware there's an invention called television, and on that invention they show shows.
Yeah.
Well, the way they pick the shows on TV is they make one show, and that show is called a pilot. And then they show that one show to a lot of people who pick the shows, and on the strength of that one show, they decide if they want to make more shows. Some get accepted and become TV programs, some don't and become nothing. She started one of the ones that became nothing. Welcome to Couch Pilots, all of my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television, pilots of the past. My name is Jason, but you can call me Englishman Robert, and across from me is my dynatard. It's Captain Philip. Rest assured, I love you.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Beep bop boop beep.
Beep bop boop bop. Beep beep beep
Beep
bop.
bop boop beep.
Happy late birthday.
Oh, thank you. My birthday at the time of this recording was yesterday.
How was it?
It was, I worked on the show a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Aw.
I slept in, and then when you're young, or when your kid is young, I should say, you can just make them do whatever they want or whatever you want them to do.
Right.
And I used to do this thing where I would take my daughter over to, like in the fall sometime, because to me the fall is the most beautiful season. You get about 35 seconds of fall, and that's it.
Right.
So I try to do it within those 35 seconds, but I would take my daughter over to Glen Oak Park, and there's a lagoon over there.
Okay.
And I love...
Is it blue?
No, but I did see a bare-chested Brooke Shields over there.
It's been...
The old parks and zoos... Like the buildings, the old buildings and stuff.
They're awesome. They're amazing.
It really might be one of my favorite things. And have you ever been to the City Museum in St. Louis?
No, I have not.
It's the greatest place on earth. And I think one of the reasons I like that so much is they take architecture from around the city, things that they're tearing down.
Around the city.
Thank you. And they integrate that into the building. So I feel like you're always surrounded by the most like nostalgic and like just things from your childhood.
Right.
And that's why I love that place so much. And Glen Oak Park still has elements of old Peoria in it.
Right.
And one of those things is the lagoon. It's been there for a long time. And I like to, in the fall, walk around the lagoon. Just one lap with my daughter.
Yeah, don't do two. You might hurt yourself.
Can't do 2 laps. And she, in the past few years, she's like, I don't want to do it. I was like, yeah, just do it. You're just going to do it real quick. It'll be fine.
It's not about you. It's about your dad.
And then, but like when it's my birthday, it's the only day that I have any kind of pull with her.
Sure, yeah, it's your say goes.
I can really crank
guilt.
up the guilt, yeah, on any day and probably get what I want, but I don't have to crank it up that hard on my birthday because she knows it's my birthday night, and it's like hey, we'll just go over to Glen Oak Lagoon. And she's like, okay, that's fine. And then it's like a half hour or less. It's real quick.
Put your phone away for 30 minutes.
It's one of the things that mean the most to me in the year. And you got all the trees changing color, and you got the cool water, and all the old buildings in the park. Some of them are shut down, and they're probably gross and dirty inside and storing a bunch of shit. But it's old Peoria and Old Park and a place that I grew up in. So I like to just do one little lap around there.
Just one.
Right by the amphitheater. The amphitheater's right there.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
weird old place, and I just love that stuff.
It's great. How was your Halloween? Because we were celebrating it before Halloween.
It's spooktacular.
Was it spooktacular? Whoa, everybody, this is the Couch Pilot Spooktacular episodes.
Ooh, I like to go to Grandview Drive for Halloween. Do you ever do that?
No. I know you've talked about it in the past. There's a lot of, like, all the rich people really throw it out there and do a really cool
There's
job.
a handful that do great, but the best one is the Castle.
The Castle.
It's
right.
The people who do Soderstrom dermatology locally. I think they do like cosmetic surgeries and like acne and that kind of stuff. Very wealthy local people. They own this castle, but they don't live there. I went to a party there a few years ago, and they have this really like cool hipster black guy that lives there, and he doesn't own it. He's just like the caretaker.
So he lives in this castle. And he's just the caretaker.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's a good gig to
pretty
have.
fucking sweet gig,
Yeah,
right?
that's a sweet gig.
So I went to this party, and basically that's all it is. Is like the Soderstroms have this castle at their disposal to use for parties, or people can rent it for events. I happened to go there for it was a cast party for a play.
Right.
And so the son of Soderstrom, he was in the play. He was like a drummer in the play or something.
Ooh, a drummer in a play.
So he said, you guys can just come over. We'll have a party over here. So I don't think it cost him anything.
Cool.
But it was a really cool place. And every year they really crank it up to 10 for Halloween.
Sure.
It's awesome.
It's a castle. Why wouldn't you? That's what you have to do.
There are literal fire-breathing dragon statues there.
Are there gargoyles?
There might be.
Ooh.
They'd be stupid not to have them.
Yeah, if you have a castle and you don't have gargoyles, you're kind of like a douchebag.
You blew it. There's a lot of questions about me up front. What's going on with you? Halloween? Did you do anything for Halloween?
Well, we went to a Halloween party.
I got invited to no Halloween parties this year.
We got invited to one. It was one of Molly's friends, and we went to that. On actual Halloween night, I bowled.
Yeah.
I subbed for somebody because they wanted to go. They wanted to go trick or treat with their kids. I'm like, I'll bowl all day. Bowl all day, day. And so me and this is the thing. Every year, Molly wants to dress up. She loves Halloween.
You touched on this recently on the show.
Sure, and she loves that stuff. And I kept waiting. I kept waiting for her to say, "Well, what should we dress up as?" You know. And she was very busy. She was backloaded big time on her week.
So I know you sometimes like to front load your week. And
I don't like to. It just happens.
But you're saying she backloaded it.
She backloaded big time. She worked Wednesday, Thursday. She hosted a pure romance party on Friday.
That's great.
And then Saturday was this Halloween party.
Can I make a suggestion for you and Molly going forward?
Yeah, suggestions welcome,
okay,
for sure.
I'm just saying as far as Halloween costumes.
Not Halloween costume, okay.
Like some year, two of you should go as each other and just like wear each other's underwear. Don't you think? Like you should have the guy in the girl's underwear and the girl in the guy's underwear.
Yeah, but people won't know that unless we just
go in your underwear.
That's true. That's a good idea.
Depends on what kind of party you're going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no party like a underwear party. So we go to this party. So Saturday morning, she gets up and she goes, "Well, we have to decide what we're dressing as
tonight."
Did
you stomp her in the throat right there?
I said, I knew this was going to happen. 2 years ago, we had one of our biggest fights 2 years ago before Dustin's party.
I remember that.
And it was the same thing. We waited till the last minute, and then I had a wardrobe malfunction that I was not happy with.
Your boner popped out?
No.
Is that what that means, though? Usually a wardrobe malfunction? Is a genital comes out?
No.
Oh, okay.
But long story short, I was very concerned about this year because this was going to happen again. And in the morning, she says, "Well, here's one idea."
You knew about this party?
Yeah, we've known about this party for 3 weeks.
Why didn't you like?
It's not my job. It's not my friend. It's not my party. It's not my job, and I don't want to dress up. There's no need to dress up.
Okay. Was everyone else dressed up?
Everybody but a couple people were dressed up.
Okay.
But there wasn't that many people.
Okay.
But it doesn't say, costumes required to get in or whatever. So she wakes up in the morning. She says, "Hey, what are we going to do? I have an idea. I can go to Spirit of Halloween, which we called a couple weeks ago.
Right. Love that place.
And I can buy handmaids, because we had talked about this, buying the handmaid's costume.
You wanted to have sex with a handmaiden.
Right. And I would just wear a suit. I have a suit. I'll just wear a suit, and I'll look distinguished, and you just look like
she's about to get it.
About to get it. But I said, there's no use spending $35 on something you're going to wear for 3 hours.
That would be on the low end.
I know.
That shit is expensive.
I know. And I said, let's not do that. We have the stuff from Bob's Burgers that 2 years ago we got in a fight about.
Ones that you bought and wore exactly 0 times.
Right, exactly. I was like, let's just do that. All go buy a new wig because you've thrown your wig away or whatever. And that's
she threw her wig away. A wig away, a wig away, a wig away, a wig away.
During an argument, I'll get mad and I'll throw my costume wig away.
A wig away,
2 years later, I'll have to buy another one so we can be the same people again.
A wig away.
So I was like, all you gotta do is buy me a mustache, but I want a felt one. I don't want one that's like the fake hair, like a wig hair.
Did you not have a mustache back then?
When?
Did you throw your mustache away?
No, yeah.
Mustache away, mustache away, mustache away, mustache away, mustache away,
your
mustache away,
wife is
mustache away,
mad at
mustache
you
away,
and your
mustache away,
mustache is
mustache away,
annoying
mustache
you.
away, mustache away,
You
mustache
throw it
away, mustache
away
away,
in a
mustache
fit
away,
of
mustache
rage,
away,
so you
mustache
don't
away,
have a
mustache
mustache
away, mustache away,
anyway.
mustache away.
So, get me a felt one. Don't give me one that's made out of like wig hair because that's what the problem was.
What was it? What was the problem?
It was just very uncomfortable, and it was just it was bugging the hell out of me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Give me a felt one." I have a white T-shirt. I have gray sweatpants.
Right.
I still have the apron, the Bob's Burger apron. I still have the spatula. And you have
Is that what I saw upstairs?
huh?
Is that what I saw
Yeah.
upstairs at the captain's lounge? Okay.
Yeah. And so, oh, by the way, everybody, we added a new floor to the captain's lodge, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, yeah, that's old news.
Okay, so we decided that's what we're doing. Okay, and to me, it's perfect. I get to wear sweatpants out in public, which she doesn't let me do. Mm-hmm. I don't have to do my hair because his hair's disheveled.
Yeah.
I'll slap on a fake felt mustache and I'll be good to go.
So were you upset at all? Because it sounds like you were upset that you'd have to get a costume that day, but now you're excited that you get to look
No, I didn't
disheveled.
say anything about it. You know, I am very excited about the coercing her into doing something that I would feel comfortable in.
Yeah, okay.
So I put on my sweatpants.
Right.
I got my T-shirt. Well, actually, before that. So it was about, we had to leave at 5. It was like 3:30. I was like, I'm so tired. I'm going to go take a nap.
Yeah.
An hour and a half before we leave, I'm going to go take a nap.
But that's part of it, though, right?
Sure.
Because
I had
when
to
you get up,
I had to get in Bob's Burger mode.
your hair had to look fucked up, right?
Yeah.
So that's perfect.
All right, so she's fine with it. We're having a good time. She's excited. We pack a few beers up. We go to this party. Get there, and there's 2 people there at this party that are already drunk, and like the party was not even started yet.
Perfect.
One of them was the lady's boyfriend. We'll call him Pat.
This is a friend of Molly's.
Yeah.
From work?
Oh no, longtime friend, first time caller.
Jen?
No.
Okay.
And her boyfriend's name is Pat. He lives there now, I guess. And so him and a guy named Shane, who I have seen before at other parties at her house.
Now you said we'll call him Pat. Like
Right.
It might not be his real name, but then you just said Shane's name.
Oh, that's true. Well, because I don't like Shane.
Okay. You like Pat though?
Yeah, he was all right.
He's fine.
He's a good guy. So we're at this party.
Pat's is probably his real name too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's his name. It's actually Tap.
Oh, so you just went backwards.
So we're at this party. It's pretty low key. There's maybe 7 or 8 people there. It's not a big deal, right? Yeah. And I've seen Shane at other parties, and I'm totally annoyed by him. I call him
pretty handsome, pretty cool guy.
No, he's like the king of douchery. He's like the king of douchebags.
The king. What qualifies someone as king of douchebags?
Loud, vulgar, needs to be the center of attention. Thinks everybody loves him.
Okay.
Right? He has no concept that people might be annoyed by him.
He's got no tact.
Or Tap.
Yeah.
So
who is Shane though? Is he a friend of Tap?
He's a friend of the hostess and a friend by means.
So he's a man friend of Molly's friend.
Right. And
okay.
But no. Well, I don't know that I can't describe that. Mm-hmm. And the Pat guy is friends with him too because they hang out often. Right. Okay, so we're there. We're having a good time. I'm trying to. I'm not enjoying being at a party. With people that I'm not really close to. And so
you don't ever see that as an opportunity just to kind of cut loose.
No.
I see complete anonymity like that as an opportunity to kind of just let it fly sometimes.
No,
okay.
So, I'm dealing with the people. I'm being respectful to the people. I'm respectful to my wife. This is her friends, blah, blah. So then it gets a little louder and a little louder. And so there's a group of people, about 4, over in the corner, and they're playing like Snoop Dogg and like Regulator, like super loud, and then they're like karaokeing it at the top of their lungs. And we're like not even an hour into this party, and I'm just like the other 7 or 8 people were trying to have a conversation.
What's the gender ratio? Is it pretty 50-50?
actually more women than men. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey. My kind of party.
Yeah, for sure. This is a lot of setup and a lot of boring setup. So I'll just get cut to the chase.
Oh, yeah.
Cutting to the chase. We start playing Cards Against Humanity.
This is where it ramps up.
The Shane guy. There's 12 people around this table. We're trying to play Cards Against Humanity. He's loud. He's just like vulgarly like ripping on everybody's fucking card choices, and
so he's a guy who's got something to say about everything.
Yes, and he's the only one talking to that extreme.
I'll tell you this: I hate him. I hate him already.
You would. So I'm dealing with it. I'm annoyed by it. I'm dealing with it. I'm just throwing cards and like getting up and like walking around and stuff when it's not my turn because he's just fucking annoying me that much. My wife keeps going, "Come sit by me. Come sit by me." She's a bottle of wine in right now, so she's
your wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
My wife.
My wife.
So this other guy shows up right before we start playing cards.
Another guy.
Right.
Okay.
And I honestly don't remember his name. We'll call him Bill. It's not his name, but I don't remember what his name is.
We'll call him Lib.
Lib? Okay, I'll call him Lib. So Lib is sitting next to Shane, okay? And, Shane's being loud and everything. This guy's pretty mellow, like kind of low-key.
Low-key Lib?
Yeah. And so, we're taking a break. We're taking a smoke break. I'm outside with the hostess, and I was like, Shane is being fucking loud and rude. And she's like, yeah, he gets that way when he gets drunk. And I was like, okay, well, you're drunk, so you're not going to be able to help me.
You're useless.
So then Jen the engine comes out.
Which one's that?
You know Jen the engine.
That's Jen? Why is she called the engine?
I don't know.
All right.
So she comes out and she said, hey, hostess, Shane's like putting his finger in this guy's face, Lib. And it's
he's coming up on low-key Lib.
Yeah, he's coming up on low-key Lib, and he's getting kind of mouthy and kind of arrogant and kind of like threatening. And so I finish my cigarette and I'm like, go inside, and they're kind of going at it. Low-key Lib is just like talking like in a normal voice, and Shane is like blah 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 motherfucker blah blah.
So low-key Lib, you said he got there a little late. He's probably not drunk. He's probably keeping it together.
Yeah,
he's to neutralize.
He's a respectable adult in his 40s.
Sounds like it.
Okay. And he's sitting right next to Shane, right? And he's just kind of sitting back, like he's not sitting up like in what do they call that when like
posturing?
Posturing, you know how guys get. And then Pat's across the way, and he's kind of sitting there. He's all messed up, and he's like, well, blah blah blah. And so then I get in between these two, right? They're both sitting down still, and I get in between these two. I'm like, "Hey guys, we're having a party here. We're just all having a good time. Let's just."
But low-key Lib, you don't think he's really he's not really doing anything to respond?
He's communicating, but he's not antagonizing like Shane is.
Probably just like, "Hey man, fuck off."
Well, he's just like, "Hey, he's like, I'll answer your, I'll reply to your shit, but I'm,
This is better end than someone having sex with somebody.
Pretty close. So it gets heated. My wife keeps telling me to get out of the way and just forget about it. And I'm like, well, no, So they're kind of getting louder and louder, and I'm standing in the middle of it. And then all of a sudden, Pat pops up from the other side of the table.
Tap.
Takes his shirt off and goes, rips his shirt off. Swear to God, this is not a lie. Rips his shirt off and goes, all right, motherfuckers, this shit's going down. You don't be disrespecting my girlfriend in her house, blah, 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 blah. I'm about to fucking tear some shit up. Y'all motherfuckers are down, and
this guy's in his 40s.
This guy is in his 50s. He was born in 1966.
And what's happening with your eyes and your mouth right now? Are you just like your eyes are like, oh my God, all wide, and your mouth is dropped open?
No, I'm like, okay, this is now elevated.
Might be time to leave.
And there's nobody to help me because the three men besides me are all getting involved in this thing. So I know that the Tap is kind of more friends with Shane, so he's kind of taking Shane's side when he really shouldn't. You know what I mean? But I can't do that. Can't, because I'm gonna get my ass beat, right? Gonna get my ass beat for sure. I'm like, hey, guys, let's go. So then I see the focal point, and the person that is the most dangerous in this situation is Tap, right? He has got his shirt off.
He seems jacked up. Like,
right,
Shane was a leader in the clubhouse as far as testosterone goes, but yeah, Tap seemed to take the lead there pretty damn quick.
Yeah, and I can't understand why men take their shirt off to fight. I don't know. I don't understand.
Wind resistance.
It's so ridiculous. So
you ever get in a fight?
I've been in fights before.
Shirt stays on.
I've never taken my shirt off for a fight.
What do you take your shirt off for?
sex and showers. I smell sex and showers.
Yeah.
So my focus goes to Tap, right? Because he seems off his hinges. Whereas
You're the fireman. You're looking for the biggest blaze. You got to start spraying at the base.
So I started trying to talk this guy down, right? I'm trying to talk to a guy that's completely fucking wasted, right?
Sure.
So I'm like, hey man, come on, let's just walk away from this. No, you're gonna just. I said, nobody's talking shit about your woman. Don't worry about that. Well, it's in her house. I was like, all right. I said, let's go downstairs and talk. So I take the guy downstairs, right?
Okay, and this is where the sex comes in.
And he's like shaking. He's so fucking amped up, right? And I'm like, man, listen. I was like, this is your girlfriend's house. If you start popping people and punching the shit out of people, I said, you're gonna go to jail. And your girlfriend's going to be pissed at you. I said, is it worth it? I said, this has nothing to do with you. Those two guys up there has nothing to do with you or your girlfriend. I said, you're just making a stupid mistake. You're right, man. You got a point, man. You're pretty cool. You're pretty cool. Yeah, I fucking know I'm cool.
So are you the hero here?
And I want to get to this part too. I feel like I was the hero because by the end of the evening, I had de-escalated shirtless Tap, and I had kind of de-escalated the upstairs problem.
Yeah.
But by myself. There's no other man there.
Everyone else was like taking sides and getting ready to remove their shirts.
All the girls just fucking bailed. They all went downstairs and like, oh, we're just going to ignore this. And I'm like, you can't ignore this.
Well, girls love that. Girls will tell you they don't like fighting, but they love it because the testosterone ramps up.
Right.
And then the girl whose guy wins, oh my God. She's getting fucked six ways as a Sunday that night. Be.
So it ends up happening. Shane comes downstairs, right? And I'm in the bar area with Shane and nobody else. And so then I'm like, okay. I'm talking to this guy. I'm avoiding the conversation. Like he keeps wanting to talk about this situation upstairs, and I keep changing the subject. All right. So he sells beer. He's a beer distributor.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay. So I start focusing on talking about beer. Meanwhile, I'm talking to him, and I see Laid Back Larry.
Low-key Lib
come down, and he starts hanging out, right? Those
are the guys that were starting the conflict to begin with.
Right. So I'm like, okay, I have to keep this guy in the bar area.
Why is this your responsibility?
Because there's no other guy that's responsible there.
Can't you just take your wife and say, why don't we just get the fuck
Because
out
she
of
won't
here?
leave, because she's with her friends. She's drunk, and you can't tell a drunk girl it's time to go. So I'm talking to this guy.
You're not drunk.
I'm not drunk. I am not drunk anywhere near because I'm drinking Miller Lights, and these people are drinking like wine and like hard liquor, like punches.
I brought you Miller Lights. Did you see these?
Oh,
I brought these for you. Look at that.
Oh, thank you.
You can drink that.
So, long story short, I de-escalated.
De-escalated?
De-escalated. And this guy's talking to me, and I can't stand talking to him. He's a douche. But I'm doing it for my wife, so she can continue to have fun with her friends.
Okay.
And
do you ever feel like you're in danger throughout this?
No, I didn't.
You didn't think Shane was going to pile drive you to a cement floor?
I felt like they knew that I was the soberest person there, and
thereby intellectually the most powerful.
Right. I think I was the most level head. I was saying the right things, as opposed to if you're drunk, you're just rambling shit off. You're just saying whatever comes to mind, which usually ends up instigating something.
Right.
But I had a level head, and I could at least talk these guys down. And I've been drunk before. I know how this is. You
might be drunk right now.
No, I wish I was.
How many beers are you in right now?
3. So I'm talking to this guy about beer, and he's like, "Hey, blah blah blah. Well, I got this beer in the car. I'll give you one. I got one of these beers." He's a beer distributor. Obviously, he's got just random beers in his car. And I was like, "Sure, let's do that." And he goes out and he gets me that beer, and he brings it into me. Okay?
Yeah.
So then about half hour later, I finally talk Molly into going home. Right? So we go home.
Are you having any fun? Are you getting any satisfaction out of the resolution? Anything positive from the night up to this point?
I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to get fucking laid when I get home because I'm the hero.
Yeah.
One of her best friends was throwing a party. I de-escalated a huge situation.
Yeah.
How can I not look like the best fucking... And normally she thinks I'm a big, huge drunk. This show's built in the back of his back.
You're the king.
And I drive her home. And...
at least some roadhead, right?
A little something. Nothing happens. We actually get in a fight when I get home. We get home about something completely different. But I did get a beer. And I got a beer that I don't think either one of us have ever had. And I said, Jason's coming over tomorrow, or Monday, his birthday. Let's crack it open as a birthday celebration.
Can I unsheath it?
Unsheath it.
It feels. Hold on, I'm gonna feel it. It is a tall boy.
Yep.
And the can from the bottom is very colorful, almost mosaic in nature.
Ooh.
And I'm going to. Oh, it says Church Street Brew. I've heard of them.
Okay.
Now you brought 3 cups, and even though there's only 2 of us,
Right.
one for me,
And one for me.
and one for.
It's cup season. I don't know what might happen.
Yeah.
I've been having. Ooh. Oh.
That's a good catch.
Big catch, baby.
Okay, so
So crack this open for your birthday. Well, describe it and then crack it open for your birthday.
I will say that I don't think I have had this one. I just heard about it on Saturday though.
I think it's
the
brand
same
new.
day I got it.
I think it's brand
and
new.
I tell you why. It's Jucifer by Church Street, and it's a hazy double IPA. It's a 9%. Holy guacamole!
That's why we're sharing it.
My girlfriend works at a place where they will have beer sometimes at work.
Really?
And so they had a beer tasting last week, and this was on the list.
Okay.
She loves hazy IPAs.
She's so hazy.
She
is.
I think she gonna have my baby. I don't know if she said it was good though, but I haven't tried it.
All right.
She's hard pressed to find a hazy IPA she doesn't like, so I would imagine she did enjoy this.
So
And she loves the devil, and Jucifer is like Lucifer, so
right. She loves it. She's into Satan?
she loves the devil.
Really? That's a whole other episode.
Yeah. And you know what you gotta do? I think we all date a pagan at some point. Here, I'm gonna hand this to you, and I'm also gonna sniff the beer. It smells real fruity, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It smells juicy.
it smells juicy. It smells juicy for sure.
A hazy IPA with an absolutely sinister amalgamation of hops featuring Citra Mosaic, Galaxy, and Falconer's Flight, whatever the fuck that is. Almost entirely whirlpool and dry hop additions with a pinch of lactose for a soft, thick body.
What was the name of that brewery?
Church Street. You're gonna want to hashtag that shit. Yeah, let's try this beer.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
It's fruity. It's hazy. I don't mind it.
It's pretty bitter.
It's some bittersweet symphony, this life. You gave me a lot of head on this.
I know. I got a lot of head on mine, too. I'm going to have to let this cool down a little bit before we keep going. You know, you said this would take a lot of time up front. I think you're right.
I'm sorry. It's probably really boring, but
that's all right.
but here's the thing. Just to like recap the synopsis.
Yeah.
Me, I was the most sober person. B, some guy took his shirt off to fight people. And 3, I didn't get sex for being the hero. That's what you should have got out of it.
Yeah, that's the no sex part is a real bummer.
Yeah.
But, hey, you know,
It was a different fight.
There's always been times when we've had no sex, right?
Oh, there's lots of times.
Do we have any fan feedback?
Nope.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Should we call Church Street or should we call somebody? This is what happened for my birthday. I get a bunch of emails that say, "Hey, here's a free burrito. Hey, here is a
Free lap dance.
here's a free lap dance." Yeah, you go to the local strip clubs often enough. They start giving you free lap dances.
There's a free popsicle.
I got one that's from Hot Topic.
Hot Topic.
That's how I say it too. You ever been to Hot Topic before?
Yeah, for sure. I bought a couple shirts there before.
Do you feel like an old man going there?
But yeah. I feel like I should not be in there. I feel like somebody is going to like call the cops because I'm in there.
Do you think that we should call Hot Topic?
Sure, let's call Hot Topic and say and just kind of like ask them what they have for like guys in their early 40s, like apparel wise, or
I was gonna ask him
or you could say, hey, we know that Spencer's has pipes and stuff. Let's see, or
do you
sex
match
toys.
their prices?
Yeah,
They have sex toys at Spencer's?
Oh, for sure, yeah, for sure.
I'll ask him.
Don't you
about
ever
that.
go to the back of the store?
I don't go to Spencer's. That place is like a fucking garbage mill. But what I wanted to ask is because I got a $5 birthday coupon, and I was going to see what I could use that for, and then what old men buy at a place
Sure.
like Hot Topic. So
Hot Topic.
we'll call him real quick and see. This is at the mall. This is the only place I can think you can find Hot Topic.
Yeah. Does anybody go to the mall anymore?
My daughter won't go there past 5 p.m., she says.
She's
Victoria Hot Topic. This is Megan. How can I help you?
Megan?
Yes.
Hey, Megan. My name is Jason. I just got an email from Hot Topic, and it said for my birthday I got a $5 coupon. Is that a scam, or is that a regular thing that happens?
No, it's every year around your birthday you'll get a coupon that gets you $5 off a purchase with us.
Okay, is it like of a purchase of $100 or more?
No, it's just a reward on your account. So whenever it'll expire, like I think the current one it should expire in like 2 or 3 months. So it's just one purchase. Doesn't matter how much it is. It has to be at least $5.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like, that's just $5 that you get off of a purchase with us, either online or in store.
I get a lot of emails, and I thought, like, I don't know what's a scam anymore. Don't you feel like people are always trying to scam you through your email?
Yeah.
Like, I got this Nigerian prince that emailed me and said that, like, if I gave him some money, he would give me, like, part of his riches. You ever received that email?
Yeah, they do that.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you could tell, but I'm a very old man, and I bought some stuff there for my daughter, and now I'm on your program. So being an old man, what do you guys have there for people who are old? Anything?
Well, we do have an entire wall of classic rock tees.
Okay. What do you consider? Make me feel real old now, and tell me what you consider classic rock.
Well, it's not all classic rock. A lot of it is like hair bands, or just we've got some like heavy metal bands. We've got Metallica, Black Sabbath. We've got Misfits, Ramones.
Do you have anything by Wham?
We don't have any Wham, no.
Okay, I'm a real Wham head. I don't know. Thought they were coming back. What's some of your favorite heavy metal stuff? Like, if I wanted to look cool and I came in there and put $5 towards a shirt, what would be a cool heavy metal shirt to buy?
We've got some really cool Megadeth shirts. We've got some cool Iron Maiden shirts.
Did Dave Mustaine, did he get sick recently? He got like throat cancer or something? He can't sing anymore?
I'm not sure.
That's a real bummer. What about piercings? I've been looking to do something real weird with my eyebrows.
Well, we do have body jewelry. So if you're already pierced, then you can come in and buy body jewelry with us.
Do you guys ever borrow that gun from Claire's and do body piercings in your store?
We do not know.
Okay. But so you don't do any kind of piercings, whether it's you're borrowing the gun?
No, we don't do piercings in store. But if you come in already pierced, we do have the jewelry.
Okay. Do you have any of the Don't Trust Anyone Over 30 t-shirts?
We do not have those, no.
Do you have any MAGA stuff?
No.
Thank God. Okay. Well, I don't think I could shop there if that was the case. Do you have any like buttons that it's like a white button and then it says Trump on it, but it's got like a red circle and a line through that very same circle?
We do not have anything like that, no.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna come in with my buddy who's even older than me. He's got an AARP card, and we're gonna go look around and see if we can't find something.
All right. The mall does close at 9 tonight, just so you know. But that coupon should last you for like 2 or 3 months, okay?
I appreciate it, Megan. You have a great night.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
All right, goodbye.
You know, they say that the millennials and the kids nowadays are just assholes and think about themselves. Megan did a great job. I mean, she was very polite.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, so, mad props to that millennial. All the millennials named Megan, mad props to you.
Well, I mean, that's assuming that she was a millennial. She could have been older than me. I don't know. She didn't sound old.
I think you have to be under the age of drinking age to have a job there.
Do you?
I think so.
Yeah. Every time I go there, there's like girls with short hair and like
It's all different colors.
And the sides are shaved and they got piercings. And I'm like, I have never been that cool, and obviously I'm past a point where I could ever achieve that level of coolness.
And they're also wearing like rainbow bright socks all the way up to their knees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
and there's a lot of Nightmare Before Christmas stuff.
oh yeah, love Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Never seen it either. All right. Well, today we discussed the pilot episode of Annihilator from the year of our Lord, 1900, add only 86. Great year, cough.
I told you I was going to need it.
Is there...
It's brown. You want to see it? It's brown.
No, I want to see it.
Okay.
You hack up because you're a damn dirty smoker, is there a product that exists for people to spit in?
No, that's a good idea.
Right.
Yeah, I'll jot that down.
I wish there was a phone number we could call about that. We could call a smoking store next episode and ask them.
We could.
And see if they have anything like that. And
Yeah.
then, okay.
For all the phlegm that you accumulate in the fall and the spring.
Yeah, you accumulate it and then you store it and then you...
Well, what I found at work, what I do is I put a napkin in the cup. So that way when I'm spitting into it, it absorbs in the napkin so it doesn't look like that.
I don't know that I want to know about that.
Oh, okay. I thought we were at the point of our relationship that you wanted to know everything about me.
I don't want to know about the stuff that comes out of your body. I already knew that you excrete some sort of clear gel out your anus.
Clear gel.
Is that still happening?
It's not clear gel. It's kind of a yellow tint.
A yellowy, opaque-ish.
Yeah, sticky.
Oh, is it sticky icky? What happened to that? Is that still going on?
Yeah, it's not as bad as it was, but it's still going on. I'm not having as bad of problems, but there's still secretion.
Ass bad of problems?
Hashtag Ash bad of problems. Whoa.
So, listen to this. Listen to this here. And now listen to this. I feel like the sounds are way off.
Oh, yeah, for sure they are.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. I was going to burp, too.
This show was built in the back of his back burps.
All right. 1986. I tell you what. I've got a real hard-on for the 80s right now.
I love the 80s. In 1986, Halley's Comet was at some point around this. And it's coming back around again pretty soon.
This is for the people of the sun.
I was 11 years old in 1986, so what was I doing at 11 years old?
Hopscotch?
No.
Jumping jack?
How grade are you in when you're 11?
Like six.
Sixth grade?
Sixth grade, probably.
Yeah, so I was...
Fifth, sixth grade?
Yeah, so I was at Central Junior High School, just trying to be me.
You got to be you, brother.
Speaking of fights, I'm taking my shirt off. I think it was about 11 years old when Jeremy Potter jumped me after school at Central Junior High School. Jeremy Potter jumped me and was beating me up because somebody had said we were friends prior to this, but his dad had just died like recently.
Yeah,
and somebody told him that I was like making fun of his dead dad, and he was like beating me up.
You did not do that.
No, God, no, I would never do that.
Why would someone say it, and who said it?
I don't remember who it was, but I think they're just kids that are 11 just try to cause static, right?
If
like,
we
anybody that knows me, like I'm a pretty shitty person,
right, yeah,
and I say inappropriate things a lot,
sure,
but I would never talk. Mostly at 11 years old, I would never talk about somebody's dad who just died.
If we got a yearbook out, could we find the person you think that told on you that said that?
I don't really even know if I even figured out who it was.
I wish I knew, man. We could
Probably
call them right now.
Shane Bundy, probably.
God, those Shanes are grade A assholes, aren't they? Or is that the same Shane?
No, it's a different Shane.
No, I don't think it is. I think you said this.
No,
full name there.
seriously, no, it's a completely different Shane. That's the only one I could think of.
Well, I was 5 years old, and
Ooh, 5. What were you doing at 5?
I was just probably playing on the magnolia tree, pretending I was G.I. Joe.
Oh, nice.
G.I.
Joe, great American hero.
I wish they'd still do those PSAs.
Fighting Cobra and Destro.
Cobra and Destro, are those two different organizations?
It's the same organization, but it's different ranks. So, Cobra was the organization.
And there was a man named Cobra Commander. Who was actually a Cobra.
But
right?
Wow.
Didn't his shiny thing come off his head once and he was revealed to be a Cobra?
I didn't see that part. But Destro, I believe, was the one with the chrome head.
Yes.
And you had to send in a bunch of proof of purchases to get that figure.
His face looked like a human face, but it was chrome.
Yeah.
But then wasn't Cobra Commander, didn't he have something over his face, like a shield?
He had a
or
shield,
mask?
yeah. So but I don't remember ever seeing him his shield off.
So Destro was a man, and Cobra was all the guys.
Cobra was the organization, like ISIS.
And just like that guy who was just killed from ISIS.
Was he though?
His name was Baghdaddy.
But
do you love it when they call you Baghdaddy? Put your hands in the air if you was a true player.
I really think that this is a media thing. This didn't really happen. I don't think they got him.
When can we ever know the truth about anything?
We won't.
Then?
We won't.
What, is Bin Laden dead? Osama Bin Laden.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He's dead. But this.
How do you know that?
Huh?
How do you know?
Well, there was pictures online of his dead body.
Was there really? Oh, I thought they were like, we're not releasing those.
Oh, I think they did eventually.
No.
But this a Big Daddy, we don't know. To me, it's just I'm hoping that they killed him, but part of me thinks that this is just a media thing because of all the impeachment.
Just a nice shot of vitamin B in Trump's arm.
I'm not a bad guy. I helped kill a.
Well, I just heard this on the way over here. He was saying Trump was like, "We got Baghdadi. He went crying and running into his little hole like a baby, crying all the way." And I was like, "What a fucking like immature thing to say."
And then he's like, he's such a low life. Like, he killed himself and his kids. What kind of Because his kids three of his kids were with him.
I didn't know that.
Three of his kids were like in this tunnel with him.
He's like, he ran to his tunnel. He had a bob and he blew himself up. He was crying the whole way. I was just like, is that how a person who runs a good chunk of the world talks?
No, not at all.
About your enemies? No. He's such a fucking piece of shit.
God.
I really dislike him.
Yeah. No.
Talk like a man. Talk like a human being with respect.
Well, a couple like a month ago, I watched a press conference with him and the president of Jordan or something.
Maybe Turkey.
Yeah, and he got in a fight with and Trump got in a fight with one of the reporters, and he called him an asshole.
He's such a turd.
Have you ever heard a president on recording or ever calling somebody an asshole?
Can't do it.
Nope.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't get it. God. You know what? I know that Trump was around in the 80s, and I remember even watching Saturday Night Live in the 80s, and they would kind of do stuff with Trump back then. I think Phil Hartman played him.
Sure.
Late 80s. But he wasn't the president back then.
No.
So let's go back to 1986 in our minds. And to do so, we'll talk about things that happened that year so we can properly digest the pilot we're about to discuss.
Right, because we're in 2019. We're knocking on the door of 2020.
Hello, it's me, 2020. Let me in.
Come on in, 2020.
Creak, sit, slam.
There was a lot of things that we didn't have back then in 1986 that we have now. First of all, we didn't have Courtney Cox in 1986. We did not.
I vaguely remember a Springsteen video, but
that was a hologram. That wasn't really her.
Right.
Okay. We didn't have assault rifles back in 1986.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
we just had regular rifles.
We had assault rifles, but the American public didn't have them.
Okay.
Right? They weren't readily available because we didn't have eBay or we didn't have Amazon. It's good.
That's pretty bitter. That's real bitter.
It's a bittersweet symphony. Mm-hmm. And also, we didn't have peanut butter and jelly. So,
whoa.
Nope.
Are you sure?
You know what I had today for lunch?
A peanut butter and jelly?
No, I had celery and peanut butter. Do you remember Ants on a Log?
Yes, of course.
I had everything, but I had the log, but no ants. It was really.
But you don't eat vegetables.
But it was tasty. Calories are empty calories.
as long as eating only a specific food will kill you because of the lack of calories, it's okay to eat.
But what I'm saying is, it was enjoyable. It wasn't a bag of chips. It was enjoyable. It took me back to the old days.
Why did you eat celery? That seems so unlike you.
Well, there was nothing else to eat, and lady had a stalk of celery, and we had some peanut butter.
A stalk of celery?
Stalk of celery.
Chaka Khan.
You know, Chaka
Khan. All right, so 1986 rolls around. Here's some things that happened in November of that year. November 3rd, John Lennon, Men Love Avenue album released posthumously. A couple things here. First of all...
Did you say John Lennon?
John Lennon, yeah.
Did he die in 87?
No, he died in 80 or 81.
So this album came out after he was dead?
Well, I did say the word posthumously.
I don't know what that means.
After death.
Okay.
But you ever seen the word posthumously, though?
I'd never heard of it before.
It looks like posthumously or posthumously, but it's pronounced posthumously. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
The word posthumously, we need to have a word to describe something that happens after the death of someone, but not that word. Fuck that word and its pronunciation.
Why would you say post-death album?
And you want to high five that shit. John Lennon, human piece of shit. He's a piece of shit, right?
No, I think he really, seriously, he was a piece of shit. He was a, yeah.
It's very bizarre to have 4 wildly talented people come together like the Beatles were. Like, if you break them down, they all bring a lot to the table.
For sure.
The most talented, probably Paul, right?
Paul McCartney?
Yeah.
I think so. I would say out of the 4, yeah.
John is he's mythical because he died young.
Right, that's the one thing I always say about people.
You do say that a lot.
I do say this a lot. A lot of people, like musicians, for one, they die young, and so people just like say they're the greatest thing ever. Okay,
let's count them down.
Okay,
John Lennon,
Janis Joplin.
Janis Joplin, I love him.
She was a horrible singer. I thought she was an awful singer.
Yeah,
but everybody's like, ugh, she's great, Janis Joplin.
She looked like she just got out of a washing machine.
Ugh. Yeah, and she died in Jimi Hendrix.
Like a washing machine full of dirt.
Right. Jimi Hendrix. Yeah. He was good, but
his guitar playing was second to none.
Think about this. If you have a small sample of something and no longevity, you'll think that Kurt Cobain.
These are all people who didn't really have a time to fuck up their legacy.
Right. And I'll give you one just so you don't think I'm trying to be a hater. Hank Williams Sr. If he wouldn't have died at the age of 29, was he so talented that he would have had the longevity to continue? I don't know that. I don't. You know what I mean.
You got your Marilyn Monroe's, your James Dean,
your Ike Turners.
Oh, love Ike. He's from St. Louis.
Really?
St. Louis has a Walk of Fame. I was just in St. Louis over the weekend, and Ike Turner is on the Hall of Fame. And you know who else is from there? Tina Turner. They got her on the other side of the street, though.
Hey, good job, City Council.
Oh, boy.
Keep them apart.
Yeah, John Lennon, I think, is he's a wife cheater on her and a wife beater on her, too, right?
Yeah.
Did he do those things?
I think what it was he's one of those people that when they become famous, like the true person comes out when they have endless amounts of money.
It's money
and fame. Like the true person comes out.
Yes,
like,
absolutely. It's like having an unlimited amount of cash is like being drunk.
Sure,
it brings it makes you all the eccentricities of yourself come to surface.
Right. So imagine this. Imagine this was a successful podcast.
Boy, that's a tough pull. Hold on, let me put in the let me do the Imagine music here. There's a successful podcast.
Couch Pilots, #1 on iTunes.
#1, new and noteworthy.
You got it.
Drunken Lullabies. Okay. What they were new and noteworthy, weren't they?
Yeah. So we're making money hand over fist. We have like a coupon code, a promo code online. We're making money hand over fist.
Yeah.
We have thousands of fan feedbacks a day.
Yeah.
Right. There's going to be traits from us that will come out.
I finally have enough money to tattoo my entire dick black to make it look like a big black cock.
Right. But there's going to be traits of ours that we have that normal people don't see, but the money injects into our body.
Right.
And makes us...
Like that vitamin B shot from Baghdadi into Trump.
Right. So I would be more of like a hermit. Like I wouldn't have to leave the house, which I don't want to do.
You look like Bob's Burgers all the time.
And I'll be probably get into conspiracies and not want to leave the house.
Yeah,
and
your fingernails would grow real long, and you'd be surrounded by monitors.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And for you,
I can do me if that's all right.
Yeah, no.
Probably a lot of big, fluffy, lush robes,
yes.
Extravagant minks.
Yes.
Real colorful, obnoxious shit. Probably,
And you would have an entourage. I think you would have an entourage for sure.
Oh yeah, I'd have a posse. I would probably.
Are they on Broadway?
They might be. I think you said that recently, and I said Slick Rick. I would like to correct it and say it's
posse's on Broadway.
Bismarcky.
Yeah.
I would
rolling with my posse. It's getting kind of ill.
I think that I would also I would want those glasses that Elton John would wear, those big flamboyant glasses.
Sure.
But then I'd be like, oh, I can just afford to buy some of Elton John's old glasses.
Right.
And so that's what I would do.
Yeah. So money, power brings out the deep rooted real. The money and the fame doesn't change you. The money and the fame brings out the real you.
Cream. I'm going to tell you like Wu told me. Cash rules everything
Oh, I thought you
around
were
me.
going to talk about Cream the band. I was like, they were good.
No, it's an acronym for cash rules everything around me.
I don't know what that fucking means.
I'm going to tell you like Wu told me. Cash rules everything around me. You like that?
Wu-Tang Clan?
For life. I saw Wu-Tang.
Really?
Yeah. The RZA, the Jizza, the R.I.P. ODB.
I saw your Wu-Tang once. You weren't looking.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it was at a pool party.
Oh, you saw my Wu-Tang? Yeah.
Wu-Tang Clan? Wu-Tang can't.
Look, sometimes you don't have a bathing suit, all right?
Right. And somebody offers you one, and you're like, nah.
Actually,
I don't have 5 minutes.
I went in my underpants.
Sure.
I didn't go naked.
Jason underpants.
Wild Nights.
It was good. It was good, wasn't it?
Wild Nights. It's not bad.
Oh, what a night.
November 6th, Reverend Donald Wildmon begins a campaign against Howard Stern. Remember when you dressed like Howard Stern for Halloween?
I looked a lot like him. It came up actually on my time hop. It looked a lot like him.
It was just recently Halloween. It makes sense that it would pop up.
I did not have the Jew nose for it, but it was really close.
Do you? I mean, you're broadcasting to a degree right now. Do you admire Howard Stern? Do you look up to him? Do you have an interest in him?
There was a time where I was really into him. Now, not so much. He's scaled it back quite a bit.
On multiple fronts.
Sure, and I think that it was groundbreaking what he did.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of like a lot of it was ridiculous and stupid.
Yeah.
But it was groundbreaking what he did, and maybe we wouldn't have podcasts today, maybe if it wasn't for him.
Well,
to be honest with you.
he definitely was a shocking disc jockey, and he was I think he like openly louds podcasts, like say it's like dumb and stuff, but it's like, well, no, it's not. It's kind of taken over in a lot of stuff,
Right? And he would be podcasting if he wouldn't have signed for with Sirius satellite radio.
Absolutely.
He would be podcasting.
Absolutely, he'd have his own podcast network, and
so he can talk shit about it all he wants. But if the money wasn't put in front of him by Sirius satellite radio, he would have done it.
he is. I think he's knocking on 65.
Sure, I watched him. He was with David Letterman. He did an interview with David Letterman.
Yes, on Letterman's.
But he's toned down so much. He's toned down like.
Well, yeah, I think that's what it is. I think he's a guy who's like looking at his legacy. It's funny because I think he used to be WNBC, right?
WNBC. The show was built kind of on the back purposes.
Those burps, that's tough to get out. He would do I think he would do 5 days, Monday through Friday, probably 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
Probably like 5 to 9 in the morning, something like that.
Something like that. This show is built on back of his back purpose. Oh, Jesus.
That's no good. That's no good. So he would do like 5 days a week, and now I think he does maybe like 3 days a week.
Yeah, no.
And his interviews are. There's no more strippers coming in.
Right.
There's no more
nobody's
riding on the vibrating machine.
The Sibian.
Oh, the Sibian
Yeah.
machine. There's no more of that stuff. It's just kind of like, I mean, I think he was always a skilled interview to where he was able to get things out of people. But now I think he's just really honed in on the interview process rather than all the other circus shit happening.
Right. Yeah, because he doesn't need it anymore.
He doesn't need it.
No.
But do you think he's like polishing his legacy on the tail end here, or do you think he's spitting in the face of what he's done, or do you think this is just like the next step in his evolution?
I think it's the next step of his evolution. I think he saw a crack in the armor, and for him to become anything, he had to bust through that armor. He got through that armor. He had momentum, and then he got to be the point where he could do what he wanted to, and he was like, "I'm going to do the right thing now."
Yeah, I mean, how cool is it to listen to a 65-year-old guy watch a 19-year-old orgasm in a studio? I mean, that's kind of fucking creepy at some point, right?
But also think about this: of like all the people that have been like busted out for like the Me Too movement, nobody has ever been like Howard Stern, fucking touch me or nothing. And with the content that he was providing, nobody has ever said, "Oh, Howard Stern, put his tingle in my dingle." You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny
because it was all a show. It was all a show.
It's the same thing. I know you know that I listen to Adam Carolla.
I know you know.
And he's often cited as like a misogynist,
because of the Man Show.
The Man Show and what have you. But he's another guy who has been. No one has said to him. No one's pointed at him and said, "Hey, this guy did this thing to me."
Right.
And they both have a similar persona. Well, I think they're in wildly different tax brackets. Howard Stern could probably pay off a ton of ladies if he had to, but I don't think that's the case.
No.
I think he is just very skilled guy who puts on this cloak when he goes into the studio.
He presses record.
Yep.
And he's a person, kind of like me and you.
Right.
Like, to be honest with you, like, people listen to this show and they're like, "Oh, these guys are."
I know these guys. These guys are assholes. I know exactly who they are.
Right, but when we push stop, it's a very exaggerated.
I go back home and I snuggle up in my bed and I read the Bible till I fall asleep.
Sure, with your cat.
November 13th, Giselle Jean Marie Larond of Trinidad, 23, crowned 36th Miss World. Have you ever watched a beauty pageant in your godforsaken life?
No, never watched one. I can honestly say I've never watched one.
Here's the thing about beauty pageants. You get whether it's Miss America, Miss Teen America, Miss Universe, Miss World, whatever it is, you're getting together, unarguably, some of the world's most beautiful women.
Sure.
And at some point, there was a promise of bikinis. All right?
Yeah, there was a bikini competition at some point.
Who wants to watch 2 to 3 hours of them in nightgowns or evening dresses or answering questions or seeing their talents? I don't want to watch any of that fucking shit.
I want to see them in a bathing suit so I can whack my banker.
I don't want to sit through 3 hours.
I don't want to sit through 3 hours.
I love that song. Who was that?
I don't want to wait.
Is that Meredith Brooks?
Sure.
Paula Cole.
What was that?
Where have all the cowboys gone?
No, was that
Dawson's Creek?
Yeah. God damn it! You always got to one up.
Finish each other's
sandwiches.
Don't interrupt me. Sentences. Thank you. Yeah, beauty pageants never have done anything for me. I don't care about them. I've never been to one. I've never seen one. I don't care. I don't give a shit about them. Beautiful women are beautiful women. Why do we have to crown the best?
Well, and beautiful women are beautiful women, so why not just Google them?
Yeah, just spend your time Googling. Why do we choose to watch?
Do you know what?
What's that?
I'll give you 3 guesses of something I Googled before you got here, and I bet you can't guess what it was.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you at the end.
I feel like I should have 20 questions.
Okay, let's do that. 20 questions.
Okay, 20 questions of what you Googled before I got here. Was it had to do with a lady?
No.
Oh. It had to do with bowling?
Yes.
Okay. It had to do with how to improve something that you're doing with bowling?
No.
It had to do with some kind of bowling equipment?
Yes.
Was that 4? Is that 3 or 4?
Yeah, 4.
Okay. So, I'm doing pretty well. Is this okay? So this is it just yes or no questions?
Yes.
Shit, that was 5. Okay. So it's bowling equipment. This is something you Googled, something that you wear.
Yes.
And this is something that goes on your feet.
Yes.
Is you Googled some sort of bowling shoe insert?
No.
Bowling shoe.
Yes.
That's it then, right?
No. It's a specific kind of bowling shoe.
Oh, I would never know that.
Just you're on 9 and you're already there, so you got 11 more to go.
A formal bowling shoe.
No.
Something that's a little bit more aerodynamic.
No.
A little bit more stylish.
I'll give you a yes for that.
Okay. Something with ladies' high heels.
No.
I don't know. I don't know where that could possibly go.
You have 7 more to go.
I don't know what else to ask.
Be a thinker.
Something to it's going to give you more grip on the floor.
No.
Something to give you less grip on the floor.
No.
Neon laces.
No.
It's like the pump for
Reebok pump.
Yeah, no. Reebok pump bowling.
You got 3 more. Make it happen. You were close.
I have it. I already got it. It's a bowling. You're getting a bowling shoe. That's enough. But I don't know where else I could go with that. But I'll play out my last 3 questions.
Okay.
Boy, what could it possibly be? Something more. Did I say aerodynamic already?
Yeah, you did. I'll pass.
way. I don't know. I give up.
Camouflage. Bowling shoes.
Okay. The fact that I got to bowling shoes in like
This
7 or
is
8
pretty
questions.
good. Yeah, no, for sure. And they're $165, so I'm not getting that. They're digital camo, though.
I miss the old school camo. I don't want to see 8-bit camouflage.
No, I'd rather see 8-bit.
Why do we choose to watch Annihilator?
Oh, geez. We're an hour into it. We're just getting to this. Good God. Do you have something to do after this?
I always have something to do.
There's 3 simple criteria. 1, it had to be a pilot that never went to series. 1 and done. Whether it aired or not is irrelevant. Number 2, we had to find it on the internet. And number 3, it had to be free.
Yeah, that's right. I want to do this for you real quick. That sound is way fucked. So you probably ask yourself, where can I find an Annihilator to watch for my dumb self? Well, you can do so by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube, Blake.
And you know what to do, too.
Go to YouTube, Blake, and you know what to do, too, Blake.
Prepare for takeoff, please.
I should fix the beginning of that sound effect.
Awesome!
The beginning of this one? What's wrong with it?
It doesn't skip, but it kind of like goes, it gurgles.
Yeah, it does a little bit. Summary of the pilot. Humanoid killer robots stalk a newspaper man, which is one word, who has knowledge of their existence. One of the robots is made to look like his girlfriend.
A B+.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting facts.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Interesting Facts. These are facts that Jason has scoured the internet. His knuckles are bloody. He's found them. Do not.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
You know what hard times are? Do not comment on these. Don't taint people's experience. That 9% hits you pretty quick, doesn't it?
Ooh, yeah.
Would you say that 9% hits you pretty quick?
This would be my answer to that.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, listen to this. Woo! Okay. I thought that did something else. Hold on. Here, let's hear it again.
Woo! You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
Okay, interesting facts. A TV series pilot that was not picked up for network. Its original release date was April 7th, 1986 on NBC.
NBC.
NB fact. Stars Mark Lindsay Chapman as Robert Armour. You may know him from Titanic, The Langoliers, Chapter 27, and Swamp Thing.
Nope.
That was the main guy, Robert.
Yep. I've never seen him before. I never watched Titanic.
What?
No, I never saw Titanic.
I saw Titanic. I can't pick him out. I don't know who he
You
was.
saw Titanic because you were on a date at some point with a girl, and she wanted to watch Titanic, and you were just trying to get Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Sadly, I don't think that's true. I didn't do a lot of dating back in Titanic days. It's a real thorn in my side. Also stars Susan Blakely as Layla. You may know her from The Towering Inferno and Over the Top. You ever hear that fucking shit?
Oh, yeah. I remember Over the Top. She looked familiar, and her last name was Blakely.
Yeah. So that's like you, but an adverb.
Me, but good looking.
Like if you were a sexy lady.
Right, yeah.
She had one of those like almost kid and play haircuts, right? Where those like curly blonde hair that just went up and was short on the sides and back.
To me, she looked like Pat Benatar, like a blonde version of Bat Benatar.
What's your favorite Bad Tenapars, Pat Benatar song?
Eternal Flame.
I don't think that's her. That might be the Bengals.
Oh.
You know what my favorite one is?
Icky Woods.
Hell is for Children.
Yeah. Did you get the Icky Woods reference?
Icky Woods?
Hey, folks, if you just got that reference, the Icky Woods reference, please tweet us at hashtag
Website.org.
hashtag Icky Shuffle.
I don't know what that is. Also stars Lisa Blount as
Benet Ramsey before she died.
As Cindy. You may know her from An Officer and a Gentleman.
It had Richard Gere.
Yeah. Do you think he really put that thing in his butt?
What? Oh, the hamster?
Yeah, I think it was a gerbil, but it could have been a hamster.
No, he's too classy.
What do you think the appeal of that is? Do you put like a little helmet and like oxygen? What are you doing? What is that noise you're doing?
It's a new thing I do.
What does it mean?
It's where I take my tongue to the back where I'm missing 2 teeth in the back, and I just kind of click it.
You do that on the show?
Now I do.
Would you put a gerbil in your ass?
No, I'll be honest with you. I will put some stuff in my butt, but I won't put a live animal in my butt.
What do you put in your butt?
What? In the butt? You want to put it in my butt? In my butt? Fingers. Mm-hmm. Silicone.
What's
plastic?
Liquid silicone?
No, hard silicone.
Okay, you put hard silicone in your butt? And plastic?
Rubber.
Surely not all at the same time.
You ever see my butt?
No.
And technically, I guess a battery. I guess technically. Technically a battery would go on my butt.
Is this a D-cell?
Oh, God, no. This is AAA for sure. What do you think I am, gay?
I don't know. I don't know. You think you'd want those hearing aid batteries?
Come on.
If you're gonna put something in your butt, you think you'd want like those.
Come on.
Are you saying come on? You want me to move on?
Yeah.
All right. 1986 Primetime Emmy Award.
Maybe.
So, I move on, but you stay on the subject. Keep going. It's all right.
No, that was the bit.
You said
that was the bit. Like I told you to stop, but I said another one. That was the bit.
Well, you did it. Congratulations to you. Hard times.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
1986 Primetime Emmy Award nomination in the Outstanding Achievement in Makeup for a Miniseries or a Special Category for Michael Westmore and Zoltan Elek.
I am not commenting on that, but I want to.
Fact.
It's a fact.
Hold on. Interesting facts over.
Oh, thank God. I am amazed that this would even be considered for award for anything to do with best makeup.
Well, I think that's a little bit of a peek inside of what you think about this.
Pikachu!
Peek of Twitter responses.
Twitter. Oh, sorry. Twitter responses. Responses. I wonder if Jason got on Twitter. Responses.
No, we didn't get any Twitter responses. That was good. This is time for our aviation question of the week. It comes from us from internet.com, and the question is, the Memphis Belle is famous for being the first U.S. Army Air Force's heavy bomber in World War II to complete 25 missions over Europe and return to the U.S. What type of aircraft was the Memphis Belle?
It's a B-1 bomber.
That's exactly right. Congratulations. Very good.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to go ahead.
Some crowd clapping would have been better.
Okay, fine. Here's one.
Thank you. Please.
Now, we've said in the past 10 minutes, that's all we're going to spend talking about the pilot, but this is an hour and a half. Do you want to go any longer?
No, we can't go any longer. I'm going to run out of memory. 10 minutes. Let's go. There's a crazy car chase at the beginning of this that lasts like 20 minutes.
It really does last. I bet it lasts like maybe 3 minutes, which is an eternity.
It seems like more than that. There's just, and it's 1980s cars, and it's a lot of cops chasing in one car. They're going over big, huge humps. They're going through alleyways.
Nighttime. There's a lot of hot action.
There's a lot of rain, but one thing there is not is any other cars.
Yeah,
you don't see any other cars at all.
Dark synthy music. And I think that at one point they're in the L.A. River, which is essentially like a big cement ravine.
And there's a lot of woof sounds. Did you notice this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Why?
I don't know.
And you know what? I watched this whole thing.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, I still said, "What was the woof sounds all about?"
A man takes a lady hostage and he's hurt. And they go into like a dark place. You can't really tell where they are. And then there is a kitten. The man has a kitten.
Yeah, no. So she meets him, or he takes her quote unquote hostage. She takes him home, and to his house, and there's a kitten.
No, her house, I think.
Yeah, and he's like instantly in love with this little kitten.
The next morning, the guy is being served coffee in bed from the lady he kidnapped?
Yeah.
Her name is Layla. Why?
Layla, you got me on my knees, Layla. Begging, darling, please. That's from my boy that threw his kid out the window.
Good Lord. E-clap. The next morning, too, while he's getting the coffee, the cops show up looking for him, and she protects him here. Why? There's so much like soft synthy piano music playing during these scenes. Why is she protecting this guy?
Before they go to bed, she makes him dinner in the living room.
I don't get it.
I don't. And one of the things I said, I said, sex time already? Just met.
I don't know what's going on here. This dude is like hanging out while she's like sculpting something.
Yeah, and
they're laying around talking, and it sounds like he's Australian or something. And then she says like, my husband's gone, and now Robert, as his name is, he makes his move, his sex move.
Yeah, he tells her that he killed his girlfriend.
And this woman's like totally willing to let him stay there.
She's like, oh yeah, you know what? There might be reasons.
This woman is the kind of woman who writes letters to prisoners, you know?
For sure.
Anyway, he's about to kiss this lady, and he's got some weird flash of a robot woman. And like he says the police were chasing him because he killed his girlfriend. But he's like, what I killed wasn't really my girlfriend, but a robo woman. And then he starts to, then it like goes back, and he's telling this story, which I assume was only from the past. It seemed like 2 or 3 days.
Sure. And then we go to the newsroom.
Yeah.
Because he is the head of a newsroom. His girlfriend, we find out, is the star like writer for the.
Her name is Angela. And let me just say this about Angela. You go back and you look at some of these, especially the 80s. There's a lot of unappealing fashion in the 80s.
Sure. Angela
is a good-looking woman.
Yeah,
she's a really beautiful woman.
There's some high bangs, but for the most part, she's really pretty.
Mm-hmm. So they're out walking around. They see some rival newspaper like trash all their papers, and so Robert's like, "Well, fuck that!" All of a sudden, I have bolt cutters, and I'm gonna
in
pop
the back of my Jeep.
Yeah, and so he steals the competitor's news,
and then he goes and throws them at everybody in his office.
Yeah. So they're at the newspaper headquarters, and Angela's like, "I don't trust computers." And they're all right.
Oh, terminals.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to have a computer. And she doesn't want to have a terminal.
We're setting up her character, basically,
Sure.
right? She is a woman who does not like... She's a Luddite, not unlike myself.
What?
A Luddite.
Bless you.
And
what?
also with you. What
was that word?
Luddite. Someone who doesn't like technology.
I love technology.
That night...
Not as much as you used to.
I guess they live together at their home. They're playing chess, and he proposes marriage.
And she thinks he's joking?
But
they fuck.
I was going to say, he's not joking when it's time to bone. She's a good-looking woman. Sometimes... And I write it here that sometimes 80s looks don't translate, but in bed, he reveals that they've won a trip to an oceanside resort.
And he's like, I can't go.
He's got like a speaking engagement, but he's like, hey, you know what? You go ahead and go.
You go.
Yeah. And so he said,
you go, boss.
He said, you go, boss, your dumb friend Cindy into going with you.
Yeah.
And then there's narration, which is him telling Layla in current time about what's going on.
Layla. Yeah. And she's on airplane flight 508.
Yeah.
Which, first of all, we never number our flights.
Never, ever. Not here at HQ Couch Pots. He's then it jumps forward in time to where he's waiting for her return at the airport, and they're like, "Hey, the plane disappeared." Like, what?
Yeah, what?
And then it reappeared after like an hour, and he says, "This is something that would change everything."
Yeah, and so he goes to the airport, and he sees her talking to like a weird guy. I'm sorry. With cool glasses.
Yeah, he's like wearing a tweed suit, blonde, longish blonde hair, and these dark aviators.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, he works for the government." I was talking to him on the plane a little bit, and then she keeps her eyes open while they kiss, which is odd.
Yeah.
You ever keep your eyes open while I kiss?
Not unless I'm watching like Saturday Night Live or like Leonard Kenny.
What if you're back to back with me? Do you ever do back to back kissing with your eyes open?
With you? For sure.
We kiss back to back.
Yeah, so then like they go home and like he's got this like dog that's like great, like a perfect dog, and like when they come home, like the dog's an asshole to this girl, and the girl is a fucking asshole to this dog, and you're like, what? This doesn't make any sense. Nothing is making sense up to this point. You're 20 minutes in, nothing is making sense.
This is an hour and a half. We did not mention this, by the way. This is a 90-minute film to cinema. She is at 7 a.m. watching home movies of herself, and I don't know why she's doing that, but all of a sudden at work, Angela is working with a computer, something she's never done before.
Right, she hated computers 20 minutes ago.
She's working on an editorial about experiments on live animals, and Robert is shocked by Angela's behavior.
It's unthinkable, right?
Yeah. She Robert confronts her about this, and she kind of blows him off, and then she gets into an elevator with the guy from the airport. If I was Robert, I'd be like, okay, there's been some weird shit that's been happening, but this guy is here again. This is for me. If I'm in this situation, I'm like, this is the line. Yeah. Something is up, this dude, and I am pumping the brakes so fucking hard to find out what's going on.
So you're pumping the brakes so hard you whiplash.
Hell yeah. So Robert is super duper suspicious. So he goes to Angela's office to kind of go through stuff, and he finds a manifest from the flight that she was on with 2 names circled.
It's that old digital computer paper that's all one sheet, and
it's got the perforated edges on the side with the little holes in it. Yeah. Anyway, there's 2 names circled. There's Barry Marsh and Susan Weiss. And what happens next? You know? I'll tell you. That night at home, it's dark, and Angela surprises Robert by wanting to go away for the weekend. She just got back from this trip, right? Are you okay?
No.
Good Lord. Are you going to vomit?
No. But I'll tell you why I don't know what's going on right now.
All right.
Because this is the first time I fell asleep.
Oh, really?
I fell asleep.
All right. Well, suddenly their dog Boots is dead.
Yeah, and she's like, I took care of him. I got rid of. He's like, well, where's he at? And she's like, I took care of things. She
addresses this so plainly and straight faced, and he's pretty devastated by this. And then then they see her throwing some garbage out, and the dog's body's just in this dumpster. No. You didn't see that?
I was not awake.
Yeah, so the body of the dog is in the dumpster. It's very clear that she had done something, and something is up with her. So then they go out to the wilderness in this cabin, and here you have the first of 2 times that David Bowie's Ashes to Ashes plays. Oh, you're welcome.
No, because during this fight scene, okay, I'm like, is she a werewolf? Is this a dream?
Is she a what?
Is she a werewolf?
A what? A were what?
Werewolf.
One more time.
Werewolf.
Okay.
All right. A werewolf, or is this a dream, or is she a robot? Because she goes into the water, and Robert's like, hey, don't go in there, it's cold. And she's like, fuck you, come on in here with me. And then she tries to drown him.
I'm gonna go back to the David Bowie thing real quick. You're not gonna make it. You're never gonna make it. This show is getting a Bowie bump, just to say.
Oh, you got a Bowie bump.
Bowie bump. So she
I didn't notice it until later. I didn't notice.
Well, you fell asleep.
It was the second. No, it was the second song I noticed.
So she runs. She runs out of the cabin and says, "Come chase me." They go. Yeah, she tears off in a Jeep with him, and then they get. Yeah, they're out in the water, and he's like, "Come out of that water, it's freezing." She said, "Okay." So he goes in to get her, and she grabs him
and tries to drown him.
And this is where everything turns. We're building up to something. Something weird is happening. But she tries to kill him.
Yeah, and I woke up. Yeah, I woke up for sure. And so he blows her head off eventually somehow.
Yeah. What happens? Her eyes are red.
Sure. And then when he blows her up, her face shows that she's a robot. So
yeah.
Oh, okay, she's a robot. So then Robert goes back to work and is like, hey, wait a minute, Cindy, you went on this trip with her. What happened? And then we come to find out that Cindy is a fucking robot.
Oh yeah.
How much time we got left?
Well, maybe a little bit of time. But he comes back. He's like, I just killed my girlfriend. The cops are all over the place. I need some answers. She went with her friend Cindy. Let me talk to Cindy. He goes to Cindy, yeah. And then she is like this, some kind of, same thing as Angela.
Right, there's some kind of weird, asteroids thing, in their eyeballs. There's a circle and a triangle.
It's like when you watch The Terminator and his vision's all red and he's got You never saw Terminator?
No. Why would I watch that? That's ridiculous.
I don't know, because it's a fucking classic film. I don't know. But
classic to some.
Yeah, but you're right. It looks like some sort of 1970s, 1980s video game coming out of her eyes. It's a bunch of geometric shapes. And Anyway, so the police arrive after Angela's dead and things would happen with Cindy, and that guy with the glasses is there, the government guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, Cindy loses an arm in a stairwell, and then she throws it and hits Robert with it, and then she starts to beat him with her arm.
Right. It's super crazy. And then Layla shows up again, right? She wants to help.
Well, yeah. She's you think like, oh my God, this is great. So she's like, hey, you know what? Why don't you come to the desert? I have a professor.
Black Bear.
Yeah,
Professor.
Come up to Big Bear.
What did I say?
Black Bear.
What did you say?
Big Bear.
Oh,
he's iron tough.
I was close.
She's like, I have a friend who's a professor. You come out there, and he might be able to help you out. Professor Anne, Mary Ann.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they go out to the wilderness, and the professor's not there, but his two kids are.
Did we skip at Susan Wise and the mannequin thing and the black guy with the gay black guy. We skipped that.
Oh well, yeah. So he goes.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
We'll just.
He shoots. No, he's fine. He shoots at Cindy. There's a lot of mannequins. Susan's dead. There's a robot eyeball. You gotta. So
yeah,
Layla and Robert take this eyeball. That's when she says, "Hey, you know." Oh, and he's trying to escape from this whole thing happening, and he gives a hobo a shotgun.
Rutger Hauer.
Ooh, nice. Good pull.
No, that's not him. But Rutger Hauer recently died, and he was in a film called Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he says, "Look at this manifest." Barry Marsh that goes tracks him down. They find he's dead. Who's the next one? It's circled on there. Susan Weiss. And it's a warehouse full of mannequins. You know something fucking weird's gonna happen in there
for sure.
Susan dies. I think she gets uppercutted by Cindy.
Yeah, I don't remember how she died. And they're like, Layla's like, Susan's dead. I was like, wait a minute, did I miss that?
I rewound it to find out what happened. This is what it is. He's talking to Susan, and then like there must be some weird cut or something missing because a second later, Cindy is making her way towards them. And he's standing there with a shotgun pointed at Cindy, and Susan is right next to him. And he's unloading the shotgun into Cindy, but Cindy keeps coming, and then she uppercuts Susan. Susan falls back, and I think that one hit killed her.
It's a robot punching you.
Yeah.
So anyway, they go to Big Bear.
Yeah.
Layla takes him up to Big Bear.
Yep.
This professor's going to help him.
Yeah. His name is Alan Jeffries, and he's a professor at UCLA.
Right. And
on the way there, they go to the gas station, though. This is important.
Yeah, they go to the gas station, and then Layla's on the payphone to this quote unquote professor.
Yep.
And she's like, I'm bringing him. He's not talking to anybody. Her eyes start glowing. And these two bikers come, and the bikers tries to finger her while she's on the phone.
Well, yeah, two bikers. One gets behind her and starts like grabbing her waist. And okay, I'll make you my biker mama tonight.
Character. I've seen him before.
Oh, have you?
No, yeah, I remember him from like. It was like some football movie where he was like a
The Longest Yard, Unnecessary Roughness.
It's one of them.
He starts grabbing her, and then all of a sudden you see his face get all contorted, and then it goes down, and she's like stabbed him with something.
Yeah,
and then her face
twisted his
genitalia
arm or something.
Yeah, she kills that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
And her eyes get red, and you're like, oh, so Layla's a robot.
Layla, she's a robot.
So they go to this place, this house. The professor's not there, but the kids are there. It's at night, and he's got these two little kids there. One is Nicole Eggert.
Which is Chris.
Which is what?
Is her name Christine on this?
I don't know. It might be, but Nicole Eggert she was from Charles in Charge.
Oh.
I think she might have been on Baywatch.
In charge of our days and our nights. So she's really polite. She's real polite, and
I don't think she's polite at all. She's actually kind of nasty him at dinner.
Oh, well, I'm talking about when he's first on the porch.
Okay.
Christopher, her brother, doesn't say anything.
He's a weird kid.
Then at dinner, she becomes a cunt bag.
Yeah, so they start like...
And you're like, why... First of all, why is the professor not there and his kids, who should not be alone together, at Black Bear?
The professor does come home, and then him and Robert talk in his library.
Do you know this guy? Have you seen this guy before, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
This guy, I believe, was the male lead, the father in the Louis Anderson pilot that we watched called The Johnsons Are Home. Do you remember this? Where the guy worked at like the box factory forever, and he had a son who got fired. Remember?
Yeah, but I've seen him in other stuff. But you'll recognize him for sure.
But he's they're in the library talking, and while they're talking, Layla and the young daughter are talking, And I don't understand. I really don't get it because the daughter is almost like telling Layla what
bossy.
to do.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't get the hierarchy here.
No.
But he says to Layla, hey,
like,
why don't you
"Layla,
get out of
leave."
here? Yeah.
Layla goes to leave, and the horse goes crazy.
Horse goes crazy.
The Italian
I think
stallion
they just.
just
I
goes
think
nuts.
I think animals are bothered by these robots. They can
Sure.
sense them. Robert's out the window, sees that Layla's leaving, and then he
He's
kind
like,
of.
what the fuck's going on?
Well, I
there?
think he knows something's up. Then he's
Sure.
like, well, "What the fuck is happening?" He beats the professor, who is a robot. Everyone's a robot, but basically, if you're not Robert, everyone's a fucking
If you're
robot.
not a robot.
Yeah.
Robot.
If you're not a Robert, you're a robot, right?
Right.
So he beats this not a Robert about his head, and he kind of like malfunctions.
But doesn't the professor say that he is a dynamator?
What I called you at the beginning of the show is like a dynatard,
Okay, dynatard. That's
which seems very close to the word retard to
right.
me.
But I'm an hour and 20 minutes of this, and the name of the show still hasn't come up.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
I suppose they're trying to annihilate Robert, and they are annihilators. But you think that'd come into play?
The daughter ends up trying to kill Robert, and Christopher, the brother, runs over her with a D11 from Caterpillar, and the whole barn is set on fire. The fire people don't come until the next day.
The little girl and the little boy are dead.
Yeah,
They're destroyed in the fire.
Layla comes and he sees that she's a robot, and so it's very easy to kill these robots.
I think it is not easy to kill them.
It seems easy to kill them. But anyway,
Cindy took like multiple gunshot blasts.
sure. So everybody's dead. Robert's like at a gas station. He's like, I'm on the road now. I'm a wanderer. I'm gonna take this list and I'm gonna go try to figure out what's going on and where these people come from, because you don't know the whole show. You don't know where they came from, why they're here.
You get no answers.
No answers.
You get no answers.
But it reminded me of the Hitchhiker movie, like the Hitchhiker TV series. I think it was on HBO.
I don't know that one.
It's like, I'm going to hitchhike for the rest of my life to find the answers, and that's what happens.
Stay tuned after Annihilator so you can watch Kirk Douglas star as a fur trader against engines. They say that word, engines.
I missed that. I fell asleep twice, by the way.
The Big Sky is next. Please stay tuned.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
Turbulence.
Oh my God. 90 minutes plus? No, I think it was like an hour. I think it might have been like right at an hour 30.
Yeah. First of all,
Why didn't it work?
But before I say why it didn't work, let's just say Happy Veterans Day to everybody, and thank you to all the veterans.
Yes, thank you
No,
everyone
seriously.
very much.
I had that at the top of my list. It's very long and slow. You don't get a lot of details in this at all. You really don't. Like, for as long as it is, you don't have a lot of details.
This movie is heavy on style and heavy. Basically, they said, what if we took the very successful film that Blake hasn't seen, known as The Terminator, and made it into a TV show,
Oh,
Pocahontas?
Sure.
This is very reminiscent.
When
of
did
the
Terminator come out? When did the Terminator come out?
83,
Okay.
84?
Wow, that boggles my mind.
And it's bizarre because like the
How
if you go
bizarre?
back, OMC style, I would say. If you went back and you watch a Terminator, you'd find that the film is very dark, like in color, and there's
Whoa.
a lot of black, almost all entirely African American cast. But then you have a lot of synthy music, and you got Schwarzenegger with half of his face blown off, revealing robot. This is the Terminator series.
Okay, all right.
That's what this is.
Sure. Like I said, there's also, we didn't talk about it, but there's like halfway through the show, there's a long montage that just repeats everything that happened, and it was really long.
It's so weird.
And I'm like, wait a minute.
That's the second time "Ashes to Ashes" by Bowie is played.
Okay.
And it's almost the entirety. I'm going to actually read my notes from that section if you don't mind. It is very bizarre.
How bizarre.
Well, I don't want to get into that again. Let's see here. Susan Weiss. It says, okay, so Robert is wandering the streets in a bizarre montage set to Bowie's Ashes to Ashes, and you see all the events of the movie so far. You have him walking along train tracks during the day. You see a lot of like dark religious imagery. You see stills of faces blended in with buildings and in other scenes. And you have like mirror images of things kind of moving together and colliding.
Right.
And it lasts, again, like as long as that car scene in the beginning, that chase scene, like it's like 3 minutes long. It's really fucking weird.
Right. It's very fucking weird. And it's very like, it doesn't make sense. It's not necessary.
It might have been one of
You've
those
gone
things.
so slow and given such least amount of details, there's no use going through it again.
I think they're just saying, hey,
We're artsy.
this is a movie.
We're artsy.
And we're trying to make it into a TV show. We're about 3 minutes shy. We don't have enough commercials. What do you want to do? It's like, let's make a real fucking weird montage at minute 60. How about that? Like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah. Some guy on coke.
What would you do to improve this show?
I would speed it up in the fact that I would give more details. I cannot express this more. There are not enough details during this for as long as it is. I had so many questions at the end of it that I shouldn't have had.
Yeah.
And so spend the time. Don't spend 6 minutes on a car chase and 6 minutes on a montage. Give me details of why these robots are here,
Yeah.
what it's all about, because otherwise I'm not going to be interested. Like, I don't care if you go chase them to find out the answer. Don't
Give me something.
don't expect me to be dedicated to this show to find out where the robots came from and why they're here. Tell me why they're here or where they came from, at least one of the two,
Yeah.
so I can at least have vested interest.
Yeah, I hear you. I am
2.3%.
I am all for not getting all the
One?
answers. What?
Are you all for one?
What the fuck is wrong with you? Look, I don't need the answers to everything.
No.
A couple questions hanging out there is fine.
But this one does not give you anything.
We are presenting every time we have to watch one of these made-for-TV movies that it has its fingers crossed so it'll become a pilot. It's an hour and a half long. I don't really look forward to that. It's a long time. Okay, that's a lot of shit to watch. But I get it. I do understand what they're trying to do, and I appreciate the effort they put in. It's too much. An hour and a half is a little too much here, and we don't get any answers. You know what I mean? Like, give me something to say, hey, this is kind of what we think is happening. This is kind of where these robots are coming. Give me, like, some kind of evil organization that's doing, or maybe it's space aliens.
Sure.
I don't know what it is.
And tell me why Christopher killed his own sister.
Yeah, he was it said malfunction. Like her eyes was looking at, or the little girl was looking at Christopher, and it said,
But
like,
why?
Christopher error or Christopher malfunction.
Why?
We don't know why. We have no idea why. I don't know. We need some sort of answer going forward.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it were to continue, like, kind of, and he spelled it out. I knew it was going to be this, but he spelled it out at the very end.
Yeah.
I have a list of everyone on that flight. I need to know what happened on that flight. I'm going to slowly but surely, probably episode by episode, find these people, track them down. Maybe they'll be dead. Maybe they'll all already be a robot. Maybe they'll die in the episode I meet them. Maybe they'll join me. Maybe they'll have some information.
Right.
We don't know. That list provided a wealth of opportunity going forward, but we'll never see that.
No.
Right? That's fine. We don't need to see it, I guess.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
I fell asleep 3 times, and it still seemed like 4 hours.
It's very long. What was the IMDb score?
I'm going to probably say
No, don't act like you don't know. Just tell me what it is.
5.2.
From how many ratings?
I don't know.
291.
Ooh. So a lot of people watch this,
That's
right?
a lot, yeah.
For how bad it was, a lot of people.
Critic reviews, deadcentral.com, From Here to Obscurity, Annihilator by Foy Wonder on January 11th, 2008. I have a sneaking suspicion the pitch meeting for the sci-fi horror actioner Annihilator went a little something like this. Think The Fugitive meets Invasion of the Body Snatchers meets The Stepford Wives with just a dash of The Terminator. Yeah, I bet it went something like that, all right. If not, it should have been, because it's precisely what Annihilator is. I can't argue with that at all. In better hands, with a better script and a better lead, it might have worked. As it is, Annihilator is modestly entertaining even as it underachieves, and it's easy to see why the network execs opted not to greenlight it as a regular series. If this pilot was a taste of things to come, I strongly suspect it would have been a very short-lived series anyway. And I think in the 80s, I don't think they have the mental that they do now. You might watch something like on Netflix or HBO and it says, this is a limited run. This is a miniseries. Sure, you had things like North and South and like Roots back in the 70s and 80s, but there were few and far between. Not near as many as there are now, but I would say that Annihilator could be a wildly entertaining miniseries. You could pump out 8 to 10 episodes and have a really entertaining show if it was written properly. And I kind of disagree. I like Robert. I don't know. This is the lead was weak. Do you agree with that?
I don't think Robert was bad. I think he was doing what he needed to do. I think
as an actor or a character?
As a character.
Yeah.
I just think there wasn't a lot of like details about him. You know, he was just.
Why was he an English guy in America? You know.
Sure. He looked a lot like
Pierce Brosnan.
Robert Wagner.
Really? Okay. Richie from the 80s Movie Club says, this one is a real treat for horror fans, sci-fi, and most B movies. Annihilator was a TV movie that showed up in 1986 to very little acclaim. This might be because it shamelessly ripped off The Terminator. It even includes Earl Bowen, who played Dr. Silberman in that film. But if you missed it, you missed out.
What? And I wish I would have seen the Terminator because I would have made that connection. I didn't make that connection because I never saw the movie.
You know his friend, the bald friend who fell asleep?
I don't know anything.
Okay, Robert at the newspaper.
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
The bald guy there.
Yeah, I've seen him in a bunch of stuff.
He was in the Terminator.
Oh.
And he was in Terminator 2 as well. We mourn what may have been the greatest TV show ever, but we still have this film that we've loved for almost 30 years now. Snagging a good copy of it is basically impossible, as it only ever got a VHS release, and I think only a rental one at that, but it's all up on YouTube, albeit not the greatest quality. But who cares about resolution when you got that kind of film that the Terminator franchise, with all its millions, hasn't come close to bettering in the last 20 years?
That guy's never had sex, right?
Richie from the 80s Movie Club has never had sex.
No, there's no way.
Viewer reviews, and there's a lot of them here, so I'll just read the lines here. 10 out of 10. This deserved to be a follow. This deserved to be followed up as a series. 8 out of 10. Great movie with so much lost potential. 8 out of 10, Roderick Taylor returns. I don't know what that is. 7 out of 10, cool movie. 10 out of 10, great sci-fi movie. 9 out of 10, Moody, a real 80s gem. 8 out of 10, what could have been strange. 10 out of 10, I thought The Annihilator was incredibly good. It was a great movie. 5 out of 10, were they aliens? 6 out of 10, memorable for one scene. Ooh, and I'm interested in what they say is the one scene.
Yeah, I am too.
Dated in 1980s schlock, except for one brilliant throwaway scene near the end. I wouldn't recommend buying the VHS, and I'm pretty sure this never made it to DVD or Blu-ray, but with a little digging, you can probably find it on YouTube. Be ready to skip forward to this scene. A little less than an hour and a half into the movie, you don't find it if you don't find the movie watchable. A momentary nice touch, completely unnecessary to this story or pilot. A malfunctioning android, the way it malfunctioned is nothing short of genius. It's only a couple of minutes midway into the climax. I won't spoil it any more detail. All I can say is that 30-odd years later, it's every bit as good as I remember.
It's the kid with the D11 cat machine, right?
I think he's talking about the professor, because he beats the professor in the head with the statue, and then later he's malfunctioning and like just kind of spurting off all this nonsense.
Well, that's true.
It might be what you said. I don't know. I wish it was a little bit more clear about what 4 out of 10, outlandish Terminator ripoff. And finally, 1 out of 10, very bad movie. But it's such a funny bad movie.
Funny, I didn't laugh once.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened.
No, it's
until
not.
the captain's
We need to have a
turn off
winter
the
one and a
fasten
summer
seatbelt
one.
sign.
It is Chili Wilson, I tell you that.
Great basketball player.
Oh, the best. He'd always break the backboard. That was Daryl Dawkins, I think. Never mind. We gave you everything. What a jam-packed, action-filled show this was.
Sure.
What time are we at right now?
An hour and a half. Almost hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
We set you up. Boom. Spiked it home. We did the summary. We did the interesting facts. We put you back in time.
In our mind.
And we did. We talked about Blake's boring fucking party story.
Was it bad?
No, I was just giving you shit.
No, I did too much introduction to it.
The problem was you should have ended.
Meat. I should have got to the meat. I should have got potatoes.
It needed to end with fucking. I told you that up top.
I wish it would have.
It doesn't
I thought
matter.
it was going to.
You just said the news is saying they killed Johnny Big Bag Daddy. It's not real. I don't believe it. You can give us fake news by saying there was some fucking at the end. You could have spiced up that story a little bit.
That's true. But I'm too dedicated to our 3 fans.
Into our truth.
Yeah.
The truth that we have.
Hashtag truth.
Hashtag 3 fans. We now grade this. We rate it. We've given you all the information out there. We have a very, I would almost say, kind of a sexy scale, wouldn't you?
Sure. Very sexy. It's based off of the characters of Wings. One being the worst, that's Roy Biggins. Not sexy. And number 7, flying high, as sexy as they can be. Wavy hair, flip-flops in the pilot episode, leather jacket, little tropical shirt with buttoned up. Brian Hackett.
Yeah. Those are the 7 characters from the 90s television program, affectionately and accurately known as Wings. Captain Phillip, rest assured, with that scale you so eloquently splayed out in front of us, how do you rate Annihilator?
I wanted, with the time that I dedicated to this, I wanted to give it a better score than I could, but there's no detail. I don't know what's going on, but it's for as long as it is, none of the questions I had were answered. You don't have to answer all of them because then you wouldn't have a series.
Yeah.
Answer some of them. I give it a 3.
Give it a 3. Okay. I understand and I appreciate that score. I'm going to go a little bit different direction. There's a lot to like about this show. There is at least 2 different portions, including that montage, and I think there's when they're at the lake, and she's like getting in the water. There is a bunch of really weird camera cuts. It goes back and forth rapidly in different angles. There's some really weird stuff they did with this movie. I love the dark feel. I love that dark synthy 80s music. I think it is really smart to try to capitalize on the Terminator film. Why the Terminator didn't become a series at this time. I think there was one later on Fox. I think Fox had 1 or 2 seasons of a Terminator show. No. Oh, very good. But I think it's smart to capitalize on that franchise at that time. There's a lot to like about this, but there aren't enough answers. Give us a little something to work with. We know what's going to happen next. He's going to keep searching shit out, but to what end? We don't know.
Right.
Give us just a little nibble.
Even on My Name is Earl, we knew he had a list on My Name is Earl, but we knew what his goal was.
Right. His goal. What was his goal?
To right the wrongs that he had done over the years.
Absolutely. I give it a Bowie bump. I can't go 6. I'm going to give it a 5.
Are you kidding me?
I like the show.
Jesus.
No,
it's fine. It just caught me off guard.
I kind of like this. Watching this in 45-minute chunks would be so much more digestible than the 90-minute show we saw, but I understand and I appreciate the attempt to set up a series with a made-for-TV movie. There's a lot to like here.
Do you think that it's possible that there's a 2-point difference in us because you saw the movie Tumor?
Well, here's the thing. It's not a Tumor.
Speaking of volleyball.
Well, there's that, and there's also, I don't know, Terminator maybe helped a little bit. I told you there was a click, 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 Bowie bump.
Right.
Right? I'm going to give this the highest 5 I can possibly give it. High five that shit. Almost a 6, not quite. And with that, we close the book on Annihilator, and we will never speak of that show again. Yeah. But join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode of MUNROE. Here's a little something to wet your... MUNROE is a military... Actually, this is what it says. MUNROE is military dog. Though not the best trained dog ever, he has 2 good human friends. I would argue this was written by a child. And a dumb child, probably. You can find the entire episode.
Are there such things as dumb children?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, good, yes.
I agree.
You can find the entire episode of MUNROE by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or Go to YouTube, and you know what to do, Tube.
If you just put punctuation, you wouldn't have all these problems.
You know what? My problems are my own. I take full responsibility for them. I don't need anyone to apologize for me. How would you contact the show if you were nobody?
I would go to couchpodspodcast.com. That's the one. If you go to iTunes, or you can't see all the episodes. Spotify, you can. But if you're an iTunes person...
Yeah, I'm an iTunes person.
Right. You have to go to couchpodspodcast.com to check out all the episodes, every one of them.
Go back in time, right?
Yeah,
and check them all out.
You can email us at couchpodspod@gmail.com.
Podcast. Yeah.
I was thinking my new show because I didn't.
You'll have time to plug your fucking show. God damn it.
There's a dial-in number. You can call us if you want to.
Yep.
Just let us know what you think.
It's 910 Pilots 1, and what does that translate to?
It's 910 652 75309.
I got it.
For a good time, call. What's the real number?
That was one of my favorite
Tommy Two Times
karaoke Biggie memories. Do you remember doing that?
Yeah.
You don't remember, do you?
No.
You really don't? You, me, and Big E sang 8675309.
I've listened to every episode, and I've been at about 90% of the episodes of karaoke. I can't remember every glorious minute.
I'm not. Did I create karaoke Biggie? Sure.
Yes.
Sure. But am I here for? I'm just executive producer.
Sure.
I'm the guy who created it, and
You should get more plugs.
I should get something. But I'm not there for all of them. But I was there episode 49 maybe.
How do you remember that?
Because I think we did back-to-back episodes 49 and 50, but we did them out of order because Kevin had to leave early, so he did episode 50 with all of us. And then we sang 8675309, and that's like one of my favorite memories from doing that show.
Oh, that's great.
Because Scott sang it, and then you and I sang the chorus with him.
Okay.
It was really good. Anyway.
I'll go back and check it out.
It was good. Episode, I think, 49.
Okay.
Anyway, we're on Facebook, Twitter. I hope you deleted the Instagram.
What's the phone number again?
It's 910-745-6871. You can leave us a voicemail, and we'll play it on this show. And then the voicemail that you left, you will then get to hear on an episode coming up. It's just that it's so logical and straightforward. It makes almost too much sense to not do it, or not too much sense to don't do it.
How would my voice sound on the radio? Just call the dial-in number, talk in it, and you'll find out.
And then pretend this is a radio.
Right.
Patreon.com is a website. You can give us money there. We'll spend it. Blake needs a new microphone.
No, just a crate.
A crate?
Microphone cradle.
I'll get you a milk crate. Would that work?
Microphone cradle.
Cradle. I made it out of clay. Cradle, cradle, cradle. With cradle I will play.
Very good.
What is your message of positivity?
My message of positivity today is check out Guys in a Bowling Alley at Guys in a Bowling Alley. On iTunes. It should be on Spotify by now, but we're having lots of problems. But
why are you having problems?
Do you want me to explain it to you real quick?
Nah.
Okay. Yeah, so hopefully by now it's on Spotify as well and Google Play. Guys in a Bowling Alley. Check it out. It's an endeavor.
You've done 6 episodes?
Yeah. I banked quite a few.
You're not happy with any of them though?
I'm not completely happy with any of them.
Why not? What could be different? Why aren't you happy with this thing?
Well, it's I haven't tightened it up. There was audio issues, recording issues on the first 2, and the last 2 there was audio issues with Hoover in one ear and Brian in the other ear without him being in full ears. But I'm having fun doing it.
I had fun the ones I did.
I don't know. It's one of those things that I'll never be satisfied.
Did you like the ones that I did or not?
Oh, no, yeah, for sure.
That was a lot of fun. I had a great time. I think it's a great show. It's called
and I really think Stephanie, who is the owner of Sunset Lanes, for somebody who has never been on a microphone, never been on a podcast, I think she did tremendous.
She was great. Yeah, she did a great job for someone who hadn't done it before. I had a lot of fun doing it. Guys in a Bowling Alley, available now, right?
Yeah.
So it is because I'm subscribed.
Yeah, so I think there's 3 episodes. By the time this comes out, there's 3 or 4 episodes.
And when do you release?
Every other Wednesday.
You're going back to every other Wednesday now?
Yeah.
I thought you said every week at one point.
We had a schedule hiccup.
So you're just going to do it twice a month?
Yeah, because I have on the next day that we were supposed to record,
Yeah.
I have to bowl 6 games, so I won't be able to.
Okay. So every other week.
Yeah.
Unless you get a hair up your ass and want to do a few more. Huh?
Sure.
Okay. Well, Wednesdays, that's a good time to release.
Well, yeah, that's one of the prime bowling days.
It's a lot of fun. Please listen to that. It's a great show that Captain Philip Rest is working very hard on.
tonight, in case anybody cares.
I don't, but congratulations to you.
Thanks.
This pilot may have been rough, but it is always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thank you so much, everyone, and we will see you next time.
We love you.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
Awesome! Oh, yeah!